What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're finally going to be putting some aftermarket parts on my Golf R. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you'll know that we got this Golf R for $6,000. If you want to see how we did that, go watch that video right here. And since we've had this Golf R running and driving, we've gotten the roof wrapped black. We've built a custom exhaust for it, but today's video's extra special because we have some parts that are finally going to make this car, instead of sound or look different, it's going to make it feel different as well. And that's all thanks to today's sponsor, Blowoff. So our friends over at Blowoff were nice enough to send out an atmospheric blow-off valve spacer. That'll make our turbo sound much louder. When we let go of the gas, it's going to really give us that psh sound. We got some shifter bushings, all aluminum. This will give us a better shifting feel. And they sent us out a short shifter. All these parts that we have today from Blowoff are machined from high quality aluminum. And this short shifter kit mixed with these aluminum bushings is really going to change the way this car feels and drives. So if you guys are looking for some parts to upgrade your car, use this discount code on blowoff.com to save yourself some money. Without further ado, let's unbox these parts and get into the rest of the video. So I do plan to start with the short shifter kit and the bushings, but let's go ahead and take a measurement of how far the throw is without the short shifter in so that we can compare afterwards. So the stock shifter to me doesn't feel too bad. If I'm in, like, let's say fourth gear, I have about this much play left and right. And from third to fourth, that's how far the throw is. So this is the closest thing I have to a ruler. We're gonna put it up against the dash right here. We're gonna go off this line on our shift pattern. So all the way into third, we're looking at about 10 centimeters. And all the way into fourth, we're about 21. So that makes it about 4 inches to about 8 1/4. So let's go ahead and put our short shifter in and see how much that changes. Inside the box, we've got obviously the short shifter arm, all the mounting hardware, and I believe these are like little weights that go on the end of the shifter right here. And these little weights will help making it a smoother shift. It also came with instructions. For those of you who don't understand how the short shifter is going to work, let me take off the air intake and show you on the transmission the little linkage that we're going to be replacing and explain how that's going to change the length of our throw inside the car. So now that we have the air intake off, it's a little easier to see. This is the arm we're going to be replacing right here. We're going to be replacing it with this one. It's going to sit just like that. So let's go ahead and take off these retainer clips and go ahead and start putting this one in. So a way to understand how this is going to make the shifting shorter is if we move this pin where this linkage is connected in closer to the center, is going to have to move a shorter distance to move this shaft the same amount. So that's all the short shifter is doing, is moving this linkage in. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit more force to shift, but we're going to have a lot shorter shifts, and that's what we're looking for. So let's go ahead and replace this arm. This technically means if I pull this off and start moving this back and forth, the shifter inside the car should be moving too. So that's enough messing around. Let's go ahead and actually get this arm off and replace it with the short shifter. Finally, this is what we're going to be replacing. So now that we have the opportunity to compare this to the stock one, if we line up the holes, the furthest out position on the Blowoff one is same as stock. We're going to go ahead and place ours all the way in so that we can get the shortest throw possible. We can always adjust it back out if it's too short for us, but we do have to attach some things to this part first before we can go and put it in the car, so let's go ahead and do that. Now that we've got this part all built up, let's go ahead and replace it. Blowoff actually includes a whole bunch of other parts just in case you don't have the exact model. This will actually work for Mark 6 and 7 Golf, so that's why they give you a couple extra pieces. They give you a little bit shorter bolts in case you don't want to have all this weight on the end. I went ahead and just set it up as close to stock as possible. Let's go ahead and install this back into the car and see how short our shifts can be. So there is only one way to install this. You can see those two splines are connected and wider than the rest. So there is only one way you can put this on. When you're tightening down this nut, you really want to make sure you torque it to spec. You really don't want to snap that shaft off. Sweet, now let's go check how short the shifts have gotten. That's a lot less throw. Left and right, we obviously still have the same amount because we didn't change anything on that. I might do that in the future, but forward and back is so much shorter. Let's go ahead and get a measurement. So we're looking at, from third gear, we're at about 4.5 or 11 centimeters. And then to fourth gear, we're looking at about 18.5 centimeters. So that's a big difference. That's a lot shorter. So this is on the shortest setting. I think I'm gonna keep it on this, see how I like it. If anything, I can always adjust it. So let's go ahead and do the next upgrade. So Blowoff also sent me some solid mount bushings for a mount back there, but turns out mine already has the solid mount bushings. So let's go ahead and work on this atmospheric blow-off valve and get some cool turbo sounds. Let's go ahead and unbox this. So it comes with the extended hardware, and it already comes pre-installed with the O-rings. And these are the slots where air escapes, and it gives you a nice little turbo sound. So let's go ahead and get this installed. So all this is doing is putting a little spacer in here where every time we release the gas and it blows off, it's gonna release some air to atmosphere, and that'll make it so we can hear our turbo a lot better, and it'll make a really cool sound. Before we do any of that, let's go ahead and get a sound test of how it sounds right now. So I'm gonna try my best to have the sound tests exactly the same. Hood open, camera in the exact same spot with the microphone in the exact same spot. I'm gonna go ahead and give it some revs so you guys can hear how it sounds right now, and then we'll do the same thing afterwards. So now we can go and install that spacer. So it looks like this O-ring should stay on the diverter valve right here. Then we put our spacer on like that, and then it just goes back into the same hole. So since we have a little bit of an extra space in here now, we have to go ahead and use the longer bolts that are included in the kit. I wonder if I'll be able to find that one. Thankfully, I was able to find that bolt. It fell all the way to the ground, so I guess we'll consider ourselves lucky. This time we're just gonna be extra careful. Sweet, we got that all done. Let's go ahead and get a sound clip. So I'm not sure if it's as loud, but it definitely has a different sound to it. It's a different psh. Let's go ahead and go on the road and see if under load it sounds any different. We made it to this back road. I'm gonna go ahead and get into some boost and see how that blow-off valve sounds. Oh wow. It definitely sounds different. It has it's like that JDM style where it goes. Let's get past these people and try one more time. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I've been driving this car for a couple days now, and I can say I really love the way that blow-off valve sounds, and I love the short shifter. I really like how I can take off that blow-off valve super easy if I really wanted to. And if you guys are looking for parts to upgrade your car, use Bobco11 on Blowoff.com to save 11%. That's all for me today, guys. Huge thanks again to Blowoff for sponsoring this episode. I'll see you guys in the next one.